Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon Live. Especially them because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning in the midst of COVID?
Working for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Thanks for joining us tonight. We got some good hot topics for tonight. Hello there to my co-host, Miss Tiffany.
Hi.
How are you?
Good
seeing you. So we're going to get to our hot topics tonight because we got a lot to discuss. So our first guest joining us for our hot topic, because we got Father's Day coming up, and we want to salute our father. So our first hot topic guest is Mr. Derek Phillips, is the CEO and founder of Real Dads Network, and they are celebrating 20 years of honoring fatherhood and fortifying families. Real Dad Network has been a trailblazer in championing Black fatherhood by partnering with other organizations. Throughout their events, over 275 fathers and leaders have received awards. They give out scholarships to deserving college-bound high school students. They have a father-daughter dads. They launched the Real Dad Vote, a voter registration initiative. They organized Black Fathers Uniting for the Census, and in 2024, they are leading a campaign in Brownsville and East New York to encourage men to prioritize their health and well-being of the fathers in the communities. They are establishing a fatherhood and family center in Harlem. Real Dad Network is the forefront, making a profound impact in New York City and beyond. And we are so excited to have Mr. Derek Phillips joining us tonight. Hello there. How are you?
Hello. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. Well, Father's Day is coming up. So, we wanted to say a little something about the fathers. And we know you've been doing a lot of work with the fathers. So, tell us a little bit about the organization briefly. And then I want to know, what change have you seen do we have more fathers involved in the children's lives today?
Yeah, in terms of Real Dads Network, like I said, and you mentioned it, this is our 20th year. And Real Dads Network actually derives from a documentary that I did in 2000. And it was called Real Dads, Black Men on Fatherhood, that had commentary by the late, great Ossie Davis. And that was the first documentary that was ever done that actually focused on positive Black fathers. So one of the things I realized when I did the documentary is that a lot of dads are coming up to me needing more support and help. So what I decided to do is that we created Real Dads Network. So Real Dads Network was that organization that was created in 2004 to provide resources and support for dads, and also to give dads a place to go where they can be vulnerable, a place where they can be recognized, where they can be seen. This is a place also, a support group. So that we provide at Real Dads Network. So we're that support network for for dads and also for families. And I think your question was in terms of, do we see more dads involved than we've seen in the past? You know what? I would say yes, and I say that because one of the things that we've been very involved in as well is working with the Dad Take Your Child to School Day for New York City. And so we've been doing that with a lot of the schools. And this year, for the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of dads at the Dad Take Your Child to School event. So you'll go to the Dad Take Your Child to School event and you're seeing 100, 150 dads. And we've had members that have gone to various schools to speak at these Dad Take Your Child to School Day. And a lot of men in the school. So I think we're definitely seeing a lot of dads, more dads involved. And even now, what we're starting to see a lot of around Father's Day, we're starting to see a lot of programs, a lot of agencies are doing things in terms of fathers overall, that having like a dad and cats program, the Mets are doing something like that. Then you have someone else doing something in terms of dads and picnic. So there's a lot of activities now happening around with fathers. So we're definitely seeing more dads actively involved. But we do know also that contrary to what people think, fathers have always been involved. And that's why when I did the documentary in 2000, I wanted to show that we do have a lot of dads who are actively involved in their children's lives. But just because we don't see those images on TV, it doesn't mean they're not involved. And then one of the things we know also from this research is that CDC did their study in 2013 where they said Black fathers were more actively involved in raising their children than any other ethnic group. So we also know based on the research that 60% of Black children living in a household with two parents. So that is also a fact. And I think sometimes we think dads are not involved because we hear the statistic that says 70% of Black children are born to unwed mothers, right?
Right.
What that statistic really means is that 70% of Black children are born when the parents weren't married.
Right.
That's all that means is that they weren't married. But we do know that there are a lot of fathers who are still in the home and was in the home, but they just weren't married. So that's all that.
We know that there are a lot of fathers that are in their children's life, but like even though we still have to get the other percentage involved, and like sometimes with you dealing with the fathers and talking to the different men, when you have these initiatives or go places like that, like the ones that you run into that's not involved, what reason do they give that they are not involved?
Some of the reasons might be, just situations where going through situations with the mother, where sometimes, certain situations, mother will not allow them to see their child. She might feel as though hurt because she's in pain because of something he did, or there's something she hasn't gotten over. So sometimes the child is used as a pawn in this game. And sometimes we just have situations where sometimes dads just feel as though financially they don't have the resources because they're defining themselves as a father where you have to have a provider. You have to be able to provide financially. So therefore, they feel as though they don't have that. Sometimes that might prevent some of them from wanting to be fully involved. But what we realize is that we don't really have a absence of fathers. It's not a lack of fathers. The issue is not a lack of fathers. The issue is a lack of support and resources for fathers. So one of the things that we know.
Okay, so hold on. I'm not interrupting you, but I heard this before, but I don't quite. And when you said lack of resources or support, could you explain that, please?
So one of the things that we're doing with Real Dads Network is that we're opening up a fatherhood and family resource center. And one of the things that we're also looking to do is that some of the times when dads need help, they need support. So one of the things when it comes to men and fathers is that you're supposed to be strong. We socialize our boys. Boys don't cry, right? Boys have to be strong. So you don't show your emotions. So you don't say it when you need help. So what we're seeing is that a lot of men need help. They need support. So in terms of this fatherhood center, we open up this fatherhood center to provide some of that support. And we've also partnered with Cisco Technology as well, where we're going to actually be training fathers and men and families to get certifications in the area of cybersecurity, IT certifications, and also networking certifications. So we're trying to provide them with support in terms of just economics. Because one of the challenges we do have in terms of dads is sometimes they're working, but they're working poor, because they're not making enough money to take care of themselves or even to really live. So those are some of the challenges that we're seeing in terms of lack of support and lack of resources. I mean, when we talk about family, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, do you find that the other type of support is helping them to build relationships with their children? Because sometimes it's when, you have these fathers that have their own issues with their childhood and they really don't know how to bond and build that relationship with that child because of their own background issues.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we do have a Real Dads Club, where we meet we used to meet in person once a month, but then COVID changed that. So we started meeting virtually. So we meet every Thursday and we have not missed a week in over 4.5 years. And that provides some men with that support group to say that, I need help. to say to men that, where you can be in a safe space where you can be vulnerable, where you can say, I don't have all the answers, where you can say, it's okay to be weak, where being weak is not a sign of, or showing emotions is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength.
Right.
So that's what we do in terms of the club. It's provide that support. So even when people look at me, you asked me the question earlier, I've been married for 30 years, over 30 years. I have two children, a 28-year-old and a 24-year-old. I'm the leader of one of the leading Black fathered organizations in the country. But when I grew up, my dad was not in my life. So my dad was never a part of my life. My mother died when I was 10. So, and I grew up in a dysfunctional household. But yet here it is, I was able to, got left back in the second grade. Here it is, I was able to become a teacher. I was able to graduate from high school, become a teacher, have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a retired assistant principal. So in terms of, I didn't have a father figure. That's why I created also this Real Dads Network to provide me as well with some of that support. And
do you feel that because of that, that you didn't have that parent system in place, that just made you more determined that you was going to succeed? Because even though you might not have, you know what I'm saying, the family thing, but in your head, sometimes you would say, I can make it. I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make something out of myself.
And create a different household for your family. Because just because you grew up in dysfunction doesn't mean that your children grow up the same way.
Yeah, and to your point, and this is a story that I tell people, is that when my mother died and I was 10, and the night before the funeral, I remember just crying because nobody wanted to take me because I was considered the bad kid. So nobody really wanted to take me. And I have 4 brothers and 3 sisters, and I was the baby. And I remember crying that night saying, if I ever have children, I'm going to make sure I'm there for my children. So I made this promise as a 10-year-old that any child that I have in life will never have to go through what I went through. That's why I was very involved, and I was very determined to be there for my children because I didn't want them to experience what I had to experience.
Exactly. So what would you, before we run out of time, you have to go, what would you say to the women? Because a lot of time the women, get blamed because, sometimes they use the kids against the man because if he don't give them child support, they ain't going to let them see them. What would you say to the women? How to be more supportive to the man?
Boy, you know what we say to the men that are in the group, right? And so, when we have the Real Dads Club, one of the things we don't do, we don't bash women. So when you look at Real Dads Network, the mission of Real Dads Network is to strengthen the institution of the family. So how do we strengthen the institution of the family? We just empower fathers. But at the end of the day, it's about the family. So what I tell dads and also with moms as well is that children are the center of everything in terms of what you go through. So regardless of, even if you hate the mom, if you hate the father and you can't stand his guts, he hurt you, he caused you so much pain, at the end of the day, that child still needs his or her father. So and even with our dad, when dads are talking, oh man, she's this and she's this, she's that. Yeah, but you cannot, at the end of the day, that's that child's mother, and that child loves his or her mother. So you can't say anything negative about the mother.
So I guess what we have to really take from this, listening to you and for what we know, that it takes 2, regardless of what you say. It takes 2. It takes both mother and father to raise that child. Or if it ain't the father, it takes another man. Because you need that image really of both, particularly our young males. We need that male image in that male's life. And that's what we have to think about rather than fighting each other and arguing with each other. We have to put the child first. So look, I thank you. We thank you for starting this organization and, doing all the great work that y'all have been doing and just, keep it up. Because you're doing excellent work, and just keep it up, and come back and update us again. And
Yes.
we know you're taking wifey out now for date nights. But you have fun. Have fun and have a good time because it's wonderful to still be dating after 30 years.
Yeah, yes.
So thank you again.
Thank
Thank you for coming on, and we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
Thanks for joining us. And on to our next hot topic. My question was, I'm sure we all heard about Howard University wants to return the money that P. Diddy donated to the university after he'd gotten in trouble. My thing is, he donated the money. He wanted it for the kids. Just because he done something stupid or whatever, which we all do, why would you want to give the money back? And this money can help the students who are going to the university, because all the students, has, some of them have a hard time getting the tuition up. And I'm sure money that's donated by donors and stuff help them lower their tuition so they can at least get a scholarship or partial scholarship. Do you feel that the university should be giving that money back?
Listen, I think that is the dumbest decision ever. I don't understand. I understand that he right now is involved in some serious allegations against him. But however, the $1 million that he had donated to Howard, like you said, could really help these kids with their tuition. I mean, he did it under good, under good intentions, to say, hey, I want to donate this money to his, I believe Howard is his alma mater, and that, he wanted to help the other kids. There's no reason to take that money. And I really hope that they do have another donor who's giving up $1 million to put in his place, because at the end of the day, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, but even if they have another donor that gives, and I'm sure they have other donors that give money, but still, you are still losing money regardless. Even if someone puts in that place, that money that somebody else gives can also help more students, to get scholarships and things. I don't understand why when people do something good, then just because they get in trouble or whatever, now they're the worst person ever. And that you want to take away everything that person wanted to do. This is what he wanted to do, and this is what he did. That was the same thing with Bill Cosby. They wanted to send the money back to him. Like, where did this come from? They did it already. This is what they wanted to do. Is helping the students. Isn't that what the money is for? Is to help students?
That's what the money is for, is to help the students. So regardless of what he was doing behind closed doors, and honestly, I believe that a lot of times these people know exactly what these people do behind closed doors, but they keep a blind eye, or they don't say nothing until it comes out into the light. And now you want to disown the person or don't say anything. You knew very well what this person was involved in.
Because this is what I was said the same thing before, because I was like, even though someone's giving you money, don't you check out who this person is giving you money, or their organization, or where the money's coming from? You don't check into any of this kind of stuff. even if you find out, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, or whatever, like, then don't take the money at the beginning. Then don't take the money, but don't take the money now and now want to, you know, give it back or whatever. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Wait,
You know? So
whatever somebody
I hope
does.
that.
My feeling is whatever somebody does behind closed doors with their own personal life is their own personal life. But when they come to the forefront, they want to donate money and do it for a good purpose, then I don't have no reason why you shouldn't take the money.
Well, I hope they'll think about it, and well, maybe Diddy won't take the money back anyway. Okay, then our next topic I want to get to, this young lady, she did a video on dating the men, right? So she said on her video that she thinks the man should do everything. In other words, when they get ready to go out on a date, he should send a car to pick her up. Then they go out on the date. He's supposed to pay for everything, and then put her in the car and send her back home when they go out on dates and stuff. Now, do you think the man, every time you going out on a date, that this is what he should be doing?
No, I don't think so. But I do know that these men out here have it they have it very hard, because these women are not for the 50-50 and they're not for putting out any money. So they're going to have a hard time dating out here. But what I do feel is that yes, if it's the first date, I feel like, okay, you can pay the first date, you know, and after that, you know, you can pay and then I can treat. So it doesn't always have to feel like it's always just you can sometimes pay, but you know, sometimes these women out here like, hey, you want me? I am the prize.
Well, in a way, that's what she was saying, that she the prize, right? But the thing about it is, she on the video talking, looking a hot mess. She ain't even fixed up with no makeup, comb or whatever. You on there just looking like that, talking about you know, would the man take you out? This is what you expect. Well, if this is what you're gonna be looking like when you go out come on the date,
Well,
if you gonna come on to make a video to talk about what the man should be doing, at least you should be looking like a prize.
Well, I hope
mess.
when she went on the date, she was all dressed up and looking like a prize. She just did the video.
Well,
she normally look, but
I don't think that she's gonna be going on that many days, because I don't think no man, every time you get ready to go out, I do not think that man's gonna be sending a car to pick you up and pay every time you go, because it really gets to be expensive. And I think if we are going out, and once we kind of get to know each other and call ourselves, you know, going out, I think we should share. I think we should share. I
that's right. You should share, because it is expensive. I mean,
I believe in sharing, and then also too, then you can just bring some meat and come over to the house and I'll cook it and we can have some dinner and call it a day.
Well,
anyway, I don't know what kind of days you'll be going on, but anyway, then I just, you know, before I close, I wanted to thank Dwayne Devonish from 500 Men's Making a Difference for my award. I received the award from that organization for making a difference in the community. We had it at Marriott Hotel. So I just want to give a shout out to them for finding me worthy of this award. And I will keep working, you know, to do as much as I can in the community. So thank you, Dwayne, and 500 Men. Thank you so much. And also, as you know, well, maybe all of you don't know, but you know, I'm in the Lions organization. I'm the president of the Bedford-Stuyvesant Lions Club. I'm the second woman that's been a president in 54 years. Yes, give me a hand clap. Okay, women, we got it going on. We're having our annual dinner dance October 11th. So I want to invite everyone to the dinner dance. It'll be at Anton's. We have a band, Jimmy Hill Band. We got DJ Dara. And we got LaRose Jackson singing. We got a saxophone player. We got a 3-6. We have so much going on at the dinner dance. So please give me a call, holler up, and find out more information about it. And I want to see as many of you as I can at the dance on October 11th. It'll be at Anton. So give me a call. Get some tickets now. I'm going to be waiting for you to call me to get tickets or whatever. Okay? All right. Give me a call. Okay. And since it's Father's Day coming up, my father passed away, but I still remember him. So I want to say happy Father's Day to my father. Thank you, Daddy, for raising me the way you did, for making me the woman that I am today. And my father didn't play. He would tell you what you need to be doing, how you should be acting as a woman. And I have to also give my grandfather credit because he was very strict too, in raising us girls and stuff. So I thank you, Dad, for being the dad that you are and that you were. And I miss you. Thank you. Thank you. And, for all the fathers, we was talking about the fathers earlier. So I want to shout out to all the fathers because I know you do the best job you can. I know you do a good job with your families and stuff. And, it does get hard. I know it get hard, but I also want to say the same thing that Mr. Phillips was saying too, that as women, I think we need to be more supportive to the men as well. I mean, I know they do things to us. I know, they don't take care of the kids the way they should or pay child support or whatever. But just sometimes think about it and realize that, yeah, the money's important, it's true, but it's more important for that father to spend that time with the child and grow up with the father, because it's good when you can grow up with your parents. And I know sometimes you can't, but it's good if you have that father image in your life. It really does make a difference. I know mothers, can raise children, but you can't raise those children really the way they need to be raised without that male image. Because even with girls, they still need that father image. And I think it's important, that we do that. And so what do you feel about that?
I have one thing to say to the fathers out here is that also show the mother's support. Remember that even if you're not together, remember she has full responsibility. That means she is a mother, a nurse, a teacher. Her day starts sometimes at 5 a.m. and it may not end till 11, 12 o'clock. So if it's nothing for you to pick up the child on a Saturday and just give her an hour to herself to get her nails done, her hair done, or something, that goes a long ways, and it helps to build that co-parenting relationship as well.
Yeah. But it also just makes the bond stronger, and don't worry about what they don't do, because they'll pay for what they didn't do. If you don't get that child support, trust me, down the road, karma's alive and well, so you don't even have to worry about it. And the kids will take care of it too, because they'll decide where they want to be bothered with the father or the mother or not, whichever one is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And fathers, like I say again, happy Father's Day. And remember, you can see us every Saturday at 5:30 on Brick Arts Media and Manhattan Network at 2:30. And you can join us here at 8 p.m. every Tuesday. So thank you again for joining us. And thank my director, Kara. And thank you. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Would you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Faith Art Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shannon.